thinking about the most important minute of my life, right? And for all of you, it will be the most important minute of your life. So when I worked at Apple, the legend was that if you were ever stuck in an elevator with Steve Jobs, right? Which is to say, you go to catch the elevator, and then you get in the elevator and you realize, oh shit, I'm in the elevator with Steve Jobs, right? You had until the end of that elevator ride to convince him what the hell you were doing there, or else by the end of that ride you were out of a job, right? And so you figure you've got maybe a minute from the point at which those doors close. He looks at you, he asks you what you do, and you have maybe a minute until you get to the bottom or the top or whatever, and the doors open again, and he either turns to you and says, see you around, or he says, you're fired. What am I going to do with that minute? And I'll tell you one thing. The minute that I spent by sheer coincidence in an elevator with Steve Jobs, that will be the minute that defines my life. Because not only will what I say about myself in that minute influence the future of my time at that company and possibly on this planet, but I will always look back on that minute and either look on it as that was the minute that changed my life, or that was the minute where I had the opportunity that I let slip by. Here's the thing, that question of who you are, what you're doing here, that is the fundamental question, not just of entrepreneurship, but of life. You're going to have to answer that question to every stranger you run into who wants to know who you are. You're going to have to answer that question to every business associate who you run into who wants to know what you do. You're going to have to answer that question to every client who you talk to about what you do. And ultimately, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're going to have to answer that question for yourself. If everything is futile, and everything is the same, and it ultimately doesn't matter one way or the other when you're dead, what people thought about you or what you did with your time on this planet, then what the hell are you still doing here? That is the question that you have to answer if you're going to actually change the world. How do you know when you found the thing that you're meant to be doing, when you found the thing that defines that most important minute of your life? And Steve Jobs described this as, it is like Armageddon as your entire future is destroyed. When I knew the product that I was going to build, the product that I'm working on now, the product that I don't have time to hang out and drink with you guys tonight, because when I'm done talking, I'm going to go back to working on this project that I'm working on, because as of yesterday, I know exactly what I'm going to build. And I knew when I knew exactly what I was going to build, because not only did it destroy my entire future, but it destroyed the future of everybody who I told it to. And that's when you know. And when you find that thing, everything else is sacrifice. Everything else is what is to be burned at the altar of getting what it is that is so important. Because once you find the thing, then it doesn't matter if you pour yourself into that thing and it costs you your life. Hell, it doesn't matter if it costs you your life only to create a fraction of that thing and other people carry it on and nobody even remembers your name and you get no credit for it, because that thing has to exist, that future has to exist, and that is your dharma, that is your purpose, that is your thing.